This is the tropical island of Trinidad, in the British West Indies, located a few miles off the coast of Venezuela. Hundreds of years ago, before the Spaniards came to the New World, it was inhabited by Carib Indians. Columbus discovered the island in 1498, and about 100 years later, Sir Walter Raleigh, in search of treasure, landed in this sheltered bay at the southwest corner. In those days, the island was covered in dense jungle. Near the seashore, Raleigh discovered a curious grey substance which appeared to exude from the earth. It had a texture almost resembling the creased skin of an old elephant. Over a wide area this substance appeared, as it does today, in massive outcrop patches. It is in fact the overflow from a most extraordinary lake. It is a lake because it is an area of mobile character, resembling in many ways an expanse of water. Actually, it is an area of naturally produced asphalt. Today, this strange black lake is a thriving industrial enterprise. Near its shores, a model village houses the labor employed. Here, too, are fine dwellings. There is a club and a golf course. And, of course, a cricket field, for that is the national sport of Trinidad. And wherever there is space, and wherever there are enough people to form a side, there is always a cricket pitch. All these things form some of the modern amenities for the staff and workers of the asphalt lake. Water for this community comes from a natural reservoir nearby. The waters abound in alligators. These creatures help to keep the water clean and fresh, for they kill and eat other animals which might contaminate the reservoir. Looking over the lake from a distance, there is not much to see. But when you go down and study its surface, its wonders are readily understood. To start with, you find small pools of surface water which have gathered on the face of the asphalt. Most of these pools are quite shallow and quickly dry up under the heat of the tropical sun. But one of the strangest things is that they are full of tiny fish, which disappear as soon as the waters dry away, but reappear immediately after the rains. The surface of the lake is in a state of slow and constant movement. Occasionally, stumps of trees rise from the slowly moving mass, gradually sink, and reappear at some other point, caused by the pressure of gases far below the Earth's surface. Sure evidence of this can be seen in many of the surface water pools, as the gas steadily bubbles out. The lake covers about 109 acres, its whole mass in a constant state of movement. Into it there is a continuous influx of new material. The men break the asphalt out in big lumps. This lake originated thousands of years ago. By the Earth's movements, fractures were made. Through these, oil in the area reached the surface, evaporated and left a residue, which is the native lake asphalt of today. The lumps of asphalt vary in size and weight from 40 to 100 pounds. Large pits are left in the surface of the lake, but in the matter of a day or two they gradually fill up and all traces of them disappear because the lake is forever moving and more asphalt is forming. The lumps are loaded into small cars which carry approximately 1 ton each. It will be realized that there are many difficulties in keeping a railway track even approximately straight on a moving base like the surface of the asphalt lake, and the rails have to be trued up daily. The trains are made up of 8 cars and are drawn by cable haulage. This pulls the train up the steep incline to the refinery tanks. The asphalt tanks or dryers are charged every day. Each tank is heated and produces some 85 to 90 tons of refined material in 24 hours. Actually, these tanks are melting the lumps of asphalt and dispersing the water and gas which is trapped in them. Softened forms of asphalt are manufactured at the same time in other tanks, fluxing oil having been added after the water and gas have evaporated. When the cars have been emptied, the little train rattles back down the track at great speed on its way to bring up another load. During the refining process, constant tests are made to ensure that the uniform quality of the asphalt is not altering. This is actually only a safeguard, for the natural quality has never changed since the first analysis was taken some 50 years ago. These samples are taken to a modern laboratory where a routine analysis is undertaken. The final laboratory check consists of piercing, under a specified pressure, a piece of asphalt which has set, thus making sure that it has reached the correct consistency. In the meantime, in another department of the factory, wooden barrels are being made by mass production methods. First, the staves are assembled in a jig. Next, the barrel is drawn into shape by a wire cable. Then a hoop is put in place. Heat treating over gas burners aligns the staves. Next, the top hoop is pressed into place. The outer and inner surfaces are then planed off. And the hoops nailed into position. Lastly, the barrel bottoms are fitted. And it's interesting to note that these barrels require no top, since the asphalt sets hard and cannot be removed from the barrel until the sides are broken away from it. Before passing on to the filling operation, each barrel is submerged in a special solution which, when it dries, prevents the asphalt from sticking. A moving conveyor hoists the barrels and rolls them away down a chute to the factory. The softened forms of asphalt have to be shipped in steel drums. Adjacent to the factory is a modern plant where these drums are made. Steel sheets of a predetermined size are folded into cylindrical shapes. Next, they are put into a machine which swages the join. The ends are also swaged over so as to take the tops and bottoms. The cylinders then pass through a machine which forms, by means of steel rollers, a number of corrugations in the metal. This gives the drums great strength and rigidity. In the next process, the tops and bottoms are pressed in and secured. Finally, each drum is spray painted with a black, glossy paint. They are then ready to go to the storage yard, from whence they are drawn upon as required. When the asphalt is ready, it is drawn off from the steam-heated tanks through a large screen heated by steel coils to prevent the asphalt from cooling and sticking. This allows only the clean material to pass through and down the chute, by means of which the barrels are filled. Here, once again, frequent samples are taken. The steel drums are filled in a similar manner. All this machinery and equipment requires constant care and careful maintenance. The native is by nature mechanically minded, and this work is undertaken by a well-trained staff of skilled engineering workers. Not only do they undertake plant maintenance, but also new construction and installation. From the factory, a modern aerial ropeway carries the finished product from the refineries to the pier. Here, there is a depth of over 30 feet of water, thus allowing ocean-going vessels to come alongside. At the head of the jetty, the drums and barrels are removed from the cableway and are lowered direct into the ship's holds. At loading times, this cableway is in continuous operation. A semicircular turnaround serves the dual purposes of returning the empty cradles or of loading another ship at the other side of the pier. The wonderful quality of this Trinidad asphalt is evident, for it is used for floors, roofs, basements, electrical installation, and, of course, roads in almost every corner of the world. In London, in Paris, and in Brussels, in the far north, such as Copenhagen and Stockholm. In more southerly countries, such as Italy, there are Trinidad Lake roads in Florence. And in Rome. And far below the equator in great modern cities like Johannesburg, Durban, and Cape Town. Sir Walter Raleigh described this asphalt as most excellent good. When he used it to caulk his ships, little did he know that someday its unique quality would become of world renown, and that hundreds of years later it would be supplying the needs of asphalt users all over the world.